Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and talk about Zeus. He is a mage support type character. Looking pretty cool here. This is his skin. I think I'm a fan of the first one, personally, but if you want the more, like, I guess, traditional Greek, Zeus is Greek mythology, right? I think so. But yeah, so this Zeus says here, Supreme Ruler of the Pantheon, Zeus preserves order with thunder and lightning. So that's that. It says here, Zeus, Supreme Ruler of Olympus, King of Gods and Leader of the Pantheon. All these titles speak to Zeus's power and nobility. He has long been the overlord of gods and men, despite his obvious flaw in character. None could deny the fact that he is dangerously powerful. Now, faced with the possibilities presented by Kronos and the New War, the gods once more look to Zeus to lead. So, sounds like a pretty, generic Zeus background there. King of the gods, just the leader of everybody, takes everybody where they need to go, stuff like that. I like his arm here. It's like blue, and then this one's like regular, and I guess that's a shield. I think that's a shield. So typically portrayed with a shield usually, I'm pretty sure. And then his blue arm on the other side looks pretty cool. So let's get into his first skill here, Flux Shackle. Energy cost low, very, very low. Cooldown is 12 seconds, so cooldown is not low. That's a non-scaling 12-second all-the-time ability. Zeus binds an enemy hero with a Flux Shackle. The shackle can be detonated with other abilities, causing damage. So another kind of detonating type kit. Flux Shackle, just pretty basic CC, depending on the extra damage that happens with the burst that you detonate it with. Could be one of his major abilities in the game when it comes out. Not really much to talk about here, it's kind of just like what it is. Cloud Chariot, energy cost 50. Cooldown 30 seconds, all the way down to a 15 second. So this ability has got to be something good for that 30 second cooldown. Cloud Chariot, Ascend. After a 3-second charge, Zeus ascends to his chariot in the clouds, and then Cloud Chariot descends. Zeus descends to the target location, slowing and damaging nearby enemies. So this, I believe, is global, from what I've seen in videos, and this ability is pretty nuts. It is a 30-second global ability, and that is very massive. Wow, a global ability on something that's not an ultimate that costs 50 energy. So you're getting a pretty decent sized cooldown here on top of a pretty decent sized cooldown here. So his burst is basically going to be landing, Flux Shackle, something else. If he misses Flux Shackle, then you essentially won the trade. You lost the trade. But this also slows and damages nearby enemies, so this is pretty cool. I really like this ability. It's a 3-second charge, and then he descends somewhere on the map. So he is definitely going to be used and basically be used as a cheese type character because this ability is pretty strong. Look at number 3, Lightning Bolt. Energy costs very, very low here, 60 to 105. That's pretty low. 105 is a weird number, just saying. Cooldown is 6.5 seconds. Fires a lightning bolt at target area, dealing massive damage. So this is going to be his poke. You're going to want to start with Lightning Bolt, then you're going to want to get Flux Shackle, and then you want to get Cloud Chariot. So Lightning Bolt is obviously going to be there to do poke, and then whenever you want to win a trade, you go to Flux Shackle, Flux them, and then Lightning Bolt to win the trade, because you get the bind on top of an explosion with both Lightning Bolt and the explosive damage here. And then whenever you want to gank your lane, Cloud Chariot and Shablam show up, they're slowed, Lightning Bolt them, auto attack them a couple times, then use Flux Shackle, and then Lightning Bolt them again to basically finish him off, without, obviously using his ultimate. He is looking like a very meta type mage. he definitely seems like more of a mage to me than a support. But he does have a 12-second bind. I don't think that with the other supports having all of their abilities kind of just being there, dealing consistent, crowd control and damage and healing and stuff like that, maybe giving some gold to your team and stuff like that. It doesn't seem like this kit so far is that great. Maybe when Cloud Chariot gets lower to like 15 seconds, he basically becomes a crazy roaming support, and that's probably why he's in support role, because, I mean, you're just like a 15-second Flux Shackle, Lightning Bolt combo away from every single lane. So it sounds very, very powerful. Every 15 seconds, he just ganks a lane. Shablam, shablam, shablam. He's there. They die. Ways to counter this: know when he's ulting and get out. If he wastes a Cloud Chariot rotation, he loses gold immediately. Immediately loses gold. Doesn't get the kill. Doesn't get the trade. He loses. He loses because now he has to wait another 15 seconds, or in this case 30 seconds. That's a big cooldown. Early game, he's really going to need to get to that late game potential, and that's where he's going to shine. So yeah, his early game is very weak, is what I'm seeing here. Lightning Bolt is going to carry you all the way to mid game, and mid game starts. You got 20 seconds, a 20-second cooldown here, so it's a bit better mid game. Definitely 10 seconds below 30, so that's still really good. You're going to want a big cooldown, I'm assuming, on this guy, because the sooner you get your Lightning Bolts off early game, the better. Looking at his ultimate here, Divine Retribution, energy costs, pretty basic cooldowns from 80 to 40. That is a 50-second, that's a 40-second reduction from max, from first to max. So big cooldown ratio there. Zeus calls on the power of the heavens, dealing varied damage to enemies in a radius with 3 expanding rings of lightning. Units closer to the epicenter take more damage, and I guess that's the varied part, is if they're closer they take more damage, if they're further away they take less. It's a pretty decent cooldown early game. Gonna say, all of his cooldowns early game are just massive. I mean, 12-second, massive. 6.5 doesn't scale down, massive. His cooldowns are basically where he is going to be in his position in the game. When his cooldowns are high, he's going to be very difficult to get those ganks off efficiently and stuff like that. So he seems like a high risk, high reward type playstyle. You're going to see a lot of Zeus mains already using Cloud Chariot, showing up in lane and getting that first blood, and then carrying that over to lanes that he ganks and other lanes to kind of get that sort of spiral going. I'm surprised he's considered a support. Where I understand his support comes from is he's basically a roaming type of support. He roams. Every 30 seconds he goes to a new lane, shackles, shablam, does DPS, maybe even catches a person out and ends up killing them. So he's really heavy on kill potential as a support, and I think that's where he's going to shine. Both his mobile, I keep saying mobile, his global pressure is huge. That is a very big global pressure ability right there to Cloud Chariot. And his kill pressure is going to be high because he shows up, deals damage, shackles you, blows you up, and then if you're close enough, ults. That is his combo. Every 30 seconds, shows up, bam, bam, bam. Okay, you're gonna chill here, help you out with the CSRE. Next gank, bam, bam, bam. Alright, and sometimes that bam, bam, bam damage is going to be enough to kill. So, he's going to definitely be a kill focused type of support where he shows up, bam, kills a person, gets your lane rolling, and then goes to the next lane. And so that sounds really strong to me personally. That's, I think, the only way that as a support he's going to shine is by having that kill pressure. And really, if you can get a kill every 30 seconds, honestly, you're really going to be a very fed Zeus. You're going to be very fed, and you're going to be able to carry your team, because now every time you gank a lane, you are strong. You're hopefully going to one-shot. The closer to late game it gets, it's starting to happen every 15 seconds. So, Really strong kit, especially with Cloud Chariot. It's going to be his bread and butter, I think, in all of these games, is sort of mixing his instant burst between Cloud Chariot, Divine Retribution. So like Cloud Chariot lands on him, Divine Retribution because they're close, Shackle to bind, and then blow them up. You might even be able to show up with Cloud Chariot, ult, and Lightning Bolt, and then Shackle. And then maybe your Divine Retribution will hit them again and burst, and then you get another Lightning Bolt. So he's got a very, very, very crazy combo kit, if you will, where he kind of just has all of his abilities going on at once, just doing huge damage and burst. So because of that alone, that also tells me that his kit's not consistent. And that's where he's going to struggle. His games are not going to be consistent. You're probably going to see Zeus mains running around, and they're basically going to be losing a game and then winning a game and then losing a game and then winning a game for the most part, until they like get really good at Zeus. And once that happens, he's probably going to get nerfed. But for now, his kit looks pretty okay. From what I've seen in the videos and from what I've heard on Discord, they're going to kind of change how this ability shows up, I think. Not sure if they're changing how it works, but the sort of he randomly shows up out of nowhere type of deal is kind of an issue in beta, and they are changing that. So his Cloud Chariot's going to be changed a little bit when it comes out, so don't trust what you see on like the beta videos, because it's already been confirmed that they're changing how it works. Other than that, yeah, his kit's pretty strong. Global ability every 15 seconds is just going to be strong, like a Twisted Fate in League of Legends when he first came out. So very interesting ability. You're definitely going to see him shine, especially in late game. And mid game, he's going to really be prevalent. But he is going to struggle if he stays in that lane for longer than 30 seconds. Gonna say. He is going to struggle because he shows up, he's not getting that global pressure that he wants, he's not getting that instant burst that he wants on all of the lanes. You know, that's the only thing about him that's probably going to be the counter to him, is you're not going to be able to out-rotate him, you're not going to be able to out-DPS him when he shows up, but you are going to be able to out-pressure him because he's going to be rotating a lot. And the counter to rotation pressure is just consistent lane pressure, because when you're rotating, you're not putting pressure until you get to the place that you're rotating to. And that's where, you know, the counter to Zeus comes in, right there. So just a couple of my thoughts on Zeus, how to kind of counter him a little bit. Like I said, his rotation ability here is pretty big. He can also rotate late and get to the fight immediately, and because of that, he's just going to be very, very prevalent, I think, in Genesis. He's definitely a meta pick right now, 100%, especially with this ability. This is just his bread and butter, like I said. This is going to be the main ability that you see Zeus players just like learning and trying out some crazy positions to show up and stuff like that. So pretty cool character. I really do like this idea of this ability. This ability is really, really cool. I think if they can balance this correctly, which I think so far that 30 second to 15 seconds at like massive late game looks interesting, depending on his burst with his Flux Shackle and Lightning Bolt, and obviously his ult. Having a 40-second cooldown, I don't think 40 seconds is too long for this, because he has, you know, a 15-second global. So just a couple of my thoughts on him. Let me know what you guys think about him, and that's going to be the video on Zeus. So thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for more Genesis content, like the video if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later, bye!